this is the part 2, and we were saying that we're editing the manifest because we want to have this image, which is inside the images folder in the extension folder, to be available to the script that we inject inside every page, inside every tab the browser opens. Also, the extension is supposed to inject some JavaScript files that we're creating. So for this case, yes, image replacer. So I'm gonna do image replacer.js, and then I guess I'm gonna call this one too. New folder, content scripts. Again, this is from the tutorial. The name is a tutorial. I'm sure you can pick any name you want. In our case, I'm just going to do something very simple. We're just going to do console log content JS being injected. Same thing here. On image replacer, I'm just going to ignore that and just going to call it cold place lines call. So I'm basically testing that this gets called after image replacer JS gets loaded. Because again, according to the let's see, according to the official documentation from Chrome, from Google, the JavaScript files need to be injected, they're injected in the order they appear in the array. So those should get injected the same way, one by one. So we'll test if that's the case. Well, and actually we could even do this just to be in the safe side. Load. Actually, we're not going to worry about the unload document right now. Just going to leave it like that. And then we're going to see what's next on the tutorial. They told about, and this is a way that they're explaining about adding a listener inside the content script. We're not going to do that right now because we'll need to talk to our background script. So the details of the message pass on. And that one is skewing the full URL. Notice though that they were telling us before that we could get this URL by using that. And I think there is something else in here. Get URL, there you go. I believe this get URL is available. Yeah. So you see on the official Chrome documentation, we have a telling that you get URL to an extension image to a page. So we're gonna do that. And that's running from inside the content. So we're gonna do this. We're literally just gonna do the exact same thing that they did. Let's see what happens. But in our case, we're gonna use images / dummy. Okay, and I guess we gotta find out how to sideload it. manifest file. Oh, that's just explaining the full reference of what you can put in the manifest file. But also there's a reference here that is more specific to Chrome, but I don't know what the difference would be. They're supposed to be compatible between the two, but maybe they add features that might be in Edge that are not in Chrome, or vice versa. All right. So to sideload it, open Edge extensions. So I do that, Edge extensions. So away. And it tells us to go into developer mode, I believe. Yep, developer mode. Then it says here, load unpacked. So we're gonna do a load unpack. And then I'm gonna go to my folder here, and I'm gonna click on select folder. Let me check if that was installed. And I believe it was, because I can see picture replacer here, an extension to replace all the images. So let's see if it works. Let me move this out here. Let me open a new tab. Let me do a dev12. And let's see. In the console. Let me go to the AC development exam page. Let's see if it does anything here. Oh, there you go. Content.js has been injected. Please let me call. So that worked. And there's supposed to be an image here that was inserted. Oh, there you go. Our beautiful image is right here. It was inserted. So that worked. So our extension, what it was able to do, it was able to, via the manifest, we told it we want to inject this JavaScript and this JavaScript in any tab that you open. And then out of our folder here in our extension folder, everything under the images that has an extension of PNG, we want accessible from these two scripts. And the way to access those is that, like the Chrome documentation was showing, we gotta use Chrome runtime get URL to get that actual URL that corresponds to that image that we want. So now the question is how to replace all the images with that dummy image. And that's gonna be a little harder. We're gonna have to find out. Let's find a way to how to detect a new image element in HTML document via JS. So every time there is an insertion, then we can do that. How to detect when the images are loaded? That might be a good one. And then on load, but we want to, we'll probably need some sort of event at the document level that tells us, hey, the document has been changed and a new image was loaded. I do wonder. Detected event, listen to new element event in document. DOM event listener. There you go. How can I be notified when an element is added to the page? When a function is added to the page, it's in a context of web browser extension. Oh, basically the same thing we're doing. That's interesting. So, node inserted. If we don't answer. You can use Mutation Observers for this purpose, at least if you need to support IO Opera, which is fine. Mutation Observer for each mutation inserted nodes. So let's see, Mutation Observer. Well, let's try this. I'm going to copy this, and then we're going to go to our content. I'm going to tell the following, and we're going to tell that well, that looks ugly. Let me format it a little bit. We're going to first tell it that we want to get the element. I guess it would be the body, document body. And let's see, checklist. I don't know what that is. We can leave it like that. To execute when mutations are observed. So a mutation basically means a change in the DOM tree. Remember that the a page is a document, and a DOM stands for document object model. And inside a page, you have a tree, an element, a tree of elements. So a mutation will be something that happens to that tree, I believe. So let's see. Well, let's see what happens when we run it. And we go here, we call back. Fine. Child node. Well, I need to know though. Let me add this here and add the actual mutation, because I need to know what that mutation looks like. Console dir basically expands this object into the console, so you can see the properties of the object. And hopefully, I'm not gonna stop listening to it, so I'm gonna save that. Let's see what happens. Oh. Save like that. And hopefully, let me see if I have to maybe reload it. Okay, yeah. So there is one little button here that says reload. I'm gonna click on that and see what happens. So I'll go back here and I'm gonna go to my exam. I'm gonna refresh. And my console, there you go. A bunch of them says that child node has been removed. Well, what has been removed? So we got the mutation record saying that the added node is node list. Huh. So we have that. That's not what we want. For entries, 0 entries. Ah. So the removed nodes, actually we want to know about the added nodes. And for each node, we want to know the node name. Okay. So let's see if I can do this. So what we're saying is we don't care about attributes, I don't think. Comment that out. And what we want to do is if actually for each for const new added in mutation dot, I need to know the property is added nodes. So added nodes. I'm going to loop through that because I want to console log that. And tell it, hey, chat and image child node has been added or removed. Has been added. Source is, and then we'll put src. If, oh, I wish this, I could also be doing a more functional way of doing this in this loop. For now, I'm just gonna do an iteration. So I'm gonna do node. Notice that this every node has a node name. So node name equals image. And then we're gonna add that. Save that. And I'm gonna reload my extension because I saved it. And then I'm going to now, oh, actually I forgot to remove the stub because I don't need that anymore. Save, and they're gonna reload. I'm gonna go back to my exam. I'm gonna clear this out and then reload. And I don't see anything. Interesting. There are no images loaded. That is very interesting. There were no images. And I don't know why. Let me go to another. Oops. Console. And same here. Nope, that's none of that. Yeah, so something is going on. I don't like that. So something about this, it doesn't like it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna console log the node added in hopes that we'll see something. And as a matter of fact, there's a trick here that we could do debugger, and that will automatically create a breakpoint. So I'm gonna reload this. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go back to my AC and reload that. So here, Got no, undefined. Why is it undefined? Well, what is node added then? It's entries. Interesting. How do I iterate on that? Okay, let me continue. Keys. Off. JavaScript error. That makes more sense. Off instead of in. I'm going to do a reload here. I'm going to do a reload as well here. So let's see if we, oh, there you go. No name, comment, okay. That seems to be working better. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna disable this, and so that I don't have to breakpoint on that anymore. I'm gonna reload my extension and I'm gonna run again. I'm gonna check my console. Dev, text, dev. I don't see an image though. Maybe it's uppercase. It might be, so yeah, it might be because it's an image. Let me try looking here for image. That's interesting. Don't see